Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you guys that don't know me, my name is Pilar and I do go by Pili. And for today's video, I'm gonna do a story time on how my labor went. I do currently have a 3-week-old baby, so she's actually 3 weeks today. And I've been wanting to make a little video about it, but it's just been so hard because she's always wanting to be with me. She always wants me to hold her, and I tried so hard not to get her used to that, but she is getting used to that. And it's just really hard to do anything around the house. And also, if you guys hear her, she's right there, and looks like she's about to wake up, so I gotta hurry up and do this. So anyways, that's what I'm gonna do for today's video. I'm gonna do a little story time on that, so if you guys want to see that, then just keep on watching. Okay, so I'm gonna get right into the video pretty much. So, and also if I do sound tired, it's because I'm tired. Having a newborn is hard, but it's so worth it. Okay, anyways, I had her on Thursday, May 12th. So the day before, which was on Wednesday, I had a doctor's appointment. And I was 39 weeks when I had her, and at my doctor's appointment, my doctor swept my membrane, and I had heard stories that it hurt. I had also heard stories that it didn't hurt, but I'm very sensitive for everything, so I knew it was gonna hurt. Anyways, so I went in pretty nervous because I was like, oh my god, I really wanted to get it done because obviously it was a natural induction. And I went in, they take your blood pressure, so they took my blood pressure, and I guess it was high, but it was high because I was nervous. I already knew that. But anyways, and I told them, I was like, because it's never been high before from my previous appointment, so I had told them, I was like, it's only high because I was nervous for this appointment. I came in nervous, I can feel it. And she was like, I know. She was like, but since it is, because they took it twice, they took it at the beginning of my appointment and at the end of my appointment that day, and it was high both times. And the doctor was like, yeah, I know. She was like, but I'm gonna have to send you to the hospital. So she was like, I need you to go to the hospital right now, so from here, go to the hospital. She was like, they're gonna monitor you there, they're gonna monitor the baby. And then she was like, I just want to make sure it's not preeclampsia. And she was like, if it is that, then you're gonna have a baby today, and if it's not that, well then you get to go home. And I was just like, okay. And I've heard about that before, and I think it's when you have high blood pressure. But anyways, so then I get to the hospital, and they drew my blood. They literally were taking my blood pressure every 15 minutes. And then they were keeping track of the baby's heartbeat and everything, and everything was good, thankfully. So they sent me home. So I was like, okay, thank God. I think I got home pretty late, maybe around 8 p.m. I want to say. And then I started getting contractions. As soon as I got home, I started to get contractions. I kind of had started to get them at the hospital, but I didn't know that they were contractions because I've never been pregnant before. My contractions were very low at the hospital, so I didn't really know that they were contractions. So whatever, I got home, and then they started to get a little bit more intense, and I was like, oh my god, I think I'm having contractions. But I didn't know. So then around 10 p.m. I went to bed. I was like, you know what, in case these are contractions, I'm gonna go to bed because I need to get as much sleep as I can, because if I go to the hospital tomorrow, I'm gonna have no sleep. So I had 2 hours of sleep. I literally woke up around 12 or 12:30, maybe 12:30 a.m. and I couldn't, it hurt. I was like, oh my god, I can't. But I also didn't want to be at the hospital for a long time, so I tried to labor at home as much as I can. But I was also scared because it was my first time, so I was like, I don't know how intense these get. I don't want to go to the hospital too late. I was just overthinking everything. But then I had the app on my phone, and I would track the contractions, and I think they weren't that close together yet. And maybe by 3 a.m. my phone was okay, get ready to go to the hospital, you're getting close. And I was like, I am, really? Because they did hurt, but they weren't I pictured contractions to be to the point where I'm crying, where I'm just like frozen, and they, for me, they weren't like that. And I was just like watching TV, and then I think it was like 5. Oh, and I showered like around 4:30 in the morning. I showered, and it did help me, but then when I got out, I felt them even more. So I don't know if the shower kind of helped a little bit. I felt them even more. And then like at 5 a.m. I woke up my husband, and I was like, wake up, get up, we gotta go like right now. And he was like, what? And then so then we ended up getting to the hospital at 6 a.m. and then I just went in, and I was like, I think I'm in labor, I don't know. So they pretty much like have you go into the room, into like the triage room. You just go in by yourself, and then they monitor you, they check your cervix, whatever. So they checked my cervix to see how open I was, and I was 5 centimeters dilated already. After that, they were like, okay, we're getting your room ready. So I was like, okay. So then they took me to the room, and then my husband came in, and then my mom came in, and then I was just there. They were just like putting like the IVs on me and like doing all that stuff, and then doing blood work because they had to do more blood work, I guess. And the doctor comes in, and I was already like almost 6 centimeters dilated, I think. And he was just like, are you getting the epidural? And I was like, I don't know. And then he was just like, well, if you are, like, I think you should get it right now. And if you're not, then he's like, I think you're doing great. He was like, I actually want to see you in more pain. He was like, you look a little too happy right now. He's like, you're smiling too much. And I was just like, well, like, I feel fine, you know, like in a moment when I would get the contractions, it would really hurt, but like they weren't too bad for me yet. Okay, and then he left, and then my nurse was like, oh, are you thinking of getting the epidural? And I was just like, I don't know. I was like I do kind of want it because I know, like, yeah, my contractions weren't too bad, but I knew that once I hit like 9 or 10, like I was gonna be crying my eyes out. So I was like, I don't know. I was like, what's the latest that I could get it? And then she was just like, honestly, it's up to you, like whenever you want. Like the latest, I forgot what the latest she said. She was like, it's not that it's like the latest that you could get it, it's just that some people go from like 0 to 100 within like minutes. She was like, and you're moving pretty like quick, so that could be you. So if you do move from like 0 to 100, you can't get it anymore. And I was like, damn. And I didn't want to regret not getting it because I wanted to have a good experience, because I didn't want to be scared. Because prior to like my whole experience, like I was one of those people that was like very scared and nervous about like birth. So I was like, you know what, yeah, like let me just get it. Like I want to be like good, I want to be happy, like I want to be okay. So then 30 minutes later, the guy, the anesthesiologist, I can't say that word, he came and he gave it to me, and after that I was good. But honestly, I feel like personally I could have gone without the epidural, like pain wise, but in my head, like I didn't want to feel her come out of my body, if that makes sense. Like I was so scared for that. I'm glad I got the epidural at the end of the day because, like I said, I had a good experience, didn't feel nothing. But yeah, so then the guy came, he put in my epidural, and let me just tell you that the epidural is such an uncomfortable thing to get. It didn't really hurt, it was just like the most uncomfortable thing ever, because like you're sitting there and like the nurse, she was like, squeeze me, but just don't move. So I was like literally like squeezing her, and like when the doctor put in like I don't know what they put in, I don't know if it's a needle at first, but they like numb it, and it was just like very like uncomfortable, and you just feel like a burning, like I don't know, it's like burning in your back, but like on the inside. And then even like once they put in like the epidural and stuff like that, like you could feel like literally like the medicine go down your spine. I don't know, it's such a weird feeling. So maybe like 20 minutes after he gave me the epidural, then my legs were pretty numb. They were completely numb. I could kind of like lift them up a little bit, but I couldn't feel them. It was the exact same thing as being numb like in your mouth. It's like you feel the pressure, you feel like if somebody probably like does something, you feel something, you just don't feel pain. It was literally like the same exact thing. And then I wasn't really like progressing that much for maybe like an hour. So she did like the peanut ball, and like I switched on both sides, and then she suggested to do like Pitocin, and I told her yeah, that was fine, but like just like a little bit, because I didn't want to, like, I don't know, I just didn't want to have a lot. So she did do a little bit. She was like, yeah, I'm literally doing like the lowest dose. So then we did do a little tiny bit of Pitocin, and then after that, like, yeah, it went by pretty fast. Oh, but my water has not broken yet. My water literally broke, thankfully, by itself, like the last minute. And then after that, before she left, she was just like, okay, she was like, I think I was already like close to 10. And then she was just like, okay, if you feel like you have to push, call me in. And I was just like, okay. So then I felt like I had to push. I was like, oh my god, like I have to push. And this was literally like 30 minutes after she left. And I called her again, and I was like, I feel like I have to push. And then she came back in, and then she checked me, and she was like, oh yep, like you're 10 centimeters dilated, like it's go time. And I was like, she checked me right after, literally 2 minutes after, my water broke. And I was like, yes. And she was like, okay, like you're a first time mom, like it's okay, like if you're not pushing correctly, like most first time moms, like we have to practice first, and it takes them a while, like so let's start practicing. And I was just like, okay. And then she was like telling me how to like push and stuff. The way that she had, or the way that they make you push like 3 times in a row during a contraction. So she was like, okay, like you have a contraction coming. And then she was just like, okay, she was like, do you feel that contraction? Do you feel it? And I was like, yeah, like I feel one. And then she was like, okay, start pushing. And I did. I literally like pushed, well, the 3 times during a contraction. And then she was like, oh my gosh, she was like, that was really good. And I was like, she's just saying that, whatever. And then she had me do it like, I think like 1 or 2 more times. And then she was like, okay, I'm gonna have you stop. And I was like, well, like what am I doing wrong? And then she was like, we need to call the doctor in here, because she was like, the way that you're pushing, you're gonna have the baby like ASAP. And then I was like, oh, okay. So then yeah, we did like 2-3 practices, and then after that the doctor came in, and then I started pushing for reals. And then for reals, well, I was pushing for reals the whole time, but like it was, the doctor was there, you know, it was more like, okay, like it's happening right now. I don't know how many times I pushed, but I pushed her out in 20 minutes. And my whole pregnancy though, she was pretty low. I could feel her head like down there, so I think that really helped a lot. But yeah, literally I pushed her out like in 20 minutes. And towards the end of me like pushing, the doctor was like, okay, like stop, like slow down, like I need you to slow down, because if not, like you're gonna like rip or tear. And then I was like, okay. And like I tried to slow down, but like I couldn't. Like there comes a point where like they just kind of come out naturally. And I told the doctor, I was like, I'm sorry, like I'm not doing anything, like my body is just doing it. He was like, no, it's okay. He was like, that's fine, like as long as you're not like extra like doing it, it's okay for her to like kind of like come out on her own. I just want you to like pause, because I don't want you to like tear. And I was like, okay. So then yeah, like I kind of like felt her like coming out. And then they're like, do you want to touch her head, like she has a lot of hair? And I was like, oh my god, yeah. So then I touched her hair, and then I was like, oh my gosh. And then that kind of like motivates you to like, you know, push more. So then at the end, he was like, okay, he was like, give me like 2 more like slow pushes and she should be out. And then I was like, okay. But before that, he was like, hold on. And then I think he like turned her, because I don't know if she was like sunny side up. I don't know. I didn't ask him. But he kind of like turned her like a little bit. I didn't feel anything. I just kind of saw him like going like that. And then yeah, and then after that I did like the 2 slow pushes, and she was out. But yeah, she came out, they put her on her chest, and like they start crying, and like, oof, now I'm getting emotional. I remember like she cried like right away. Like the second that she came out, she like cried, and I was just like, like I didn't really cry, because I feel like you're such like so in the moment that like you just like blank out. Like in the moment, I don't even remember much. I remember everything happening, but like I don't remember like what my mom was doing. I don't remember what my husband was doing. Like I don't remember like my surroundings, you know. I just remember like what I was doing. But yeah, like the first time that I heard her cry, I was like, oh my god, like thank god, like she's okay. And then I just like looked at her, and I was like, she's so cute. That's like the first thing I said. But yeah, that was pretty much like my experience. I had a good experience. Like thankfully. I feel like for me, like the worst part of all of this was the after, like the postpartum, and I will do like another video on that. Yeah, that is my story time. I hope I didn't like miss anything, any details. I kind of tried to make this quick because I feel like she's about to wake up, my husband's about to get home, I have dishes to do, I'm tired, I want to take a nap. But yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this story time. And if you're a first-time mom and you're scared to give birth how I was, because I was scared, just know that it's not that bad. Like, I promise you, it's not that bad as long as you go in there with like a positive mind, positive attitude, tell yourself everything's gonna be okay and everything will be okay. But yeah, that's it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys next time. I'm trying my best to upload again every week. It's really hard with the baby, but I'm gonna try my hardest. So yeah, let me know what video you guys want to see next. And for all new moms, just know that you're doing your best, and that's all that matters. As long as your baby is healthy and happy, then you're doing a good job. Just wanted to throw that out there because I feel like that's very important and that's something I really learned. But yeah, again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.